it's a really good time to be a Beatles fan right now. I mean, for the past 5 years or so, it's been a fabulous time to be a Beatles fan. What with all of the new releases, all of the new music, all of the new footage. I mean, what more could we ask for? I mean, that's a dumb question because we could always ask for more. What more could we ask for is more Beatles, and that's what we're going to get here, evidently, with Anthology 4. It's supposed to be coming out in November. I don't know if I'm going to last. I mean, I have my tissues ready because I know that when Anthology originally came out in 95, I was just a weepy, sobby mess. Because up until that time, there really wasn't a whole lot of new footage. There really just wasn't anything that you could like really have access to Beatles stuff. So here's Anthology, these hours and hours of Anthology and the Threedles back then, all these interviews, this new information and the old stuff like dug up and like, here you go. It was magical. It was amazing. It was just this watershed moment. And one of the memories I have of that is one night when one of the episodes was supposed to air, I go, okay, well, I guess I'm going to miss it because I'm going to my friend's house. He was having a party. So I go to the friend's house and we're all drinking and we're all very relaxed, by the time the episode was supposed to come out. And then my friend, he comes up to me and he says, hey, you got to excuse me. I'm going to go into the office and watch the Anthology right now. And I go, oh, and I had no idea he was this huge Beatles fan. So I go, okay, I'm coming with you. So we scurry off to the office and he's got this little teeny TV sitting on the desk. And here we are, we're very relaxed, we're very drunk basically. And we're sitting on these uncomfortable desk chairs in front of this little TV watching the Beatles. And we're just both of us kind of going like this. Oh my God. Oh my God. And me, I'm just like tears streaming down my face. I am just this sopping wet mess of just tears. And just crying and sobbing and just like I couldn't get enough of it. I mean, it's like, could I even see through the tears? Probably not. And then my friend, he leans over to me and he goes, oh, thank you so much for being here with me. It was just this is the kind of thing that happens with Beatles fans. We just have this shared experience and now that we have the internet and everything, we share our love of the Beatles, because the Beatles are all about love. My saying that I always have is like, come for the music and stay for the love, because these are guys, they loved each other. They loved what they did. And we could feel it in the music because we go, oh, that's a good song. And then you feel it and it hooks you in and you stay there. And here we are, we're loyal fans. It's almost like we know them. That's how come with the upcoming Anthology release and the Threedles footage, they better show a lot of it. Because, I don't want to see all this extraneous interviews or anything like that of other people. Okay. Here and there, that's okay. But don't give me just 30 minutes of Beatles and 30 minutes of like talking heads. No, thanks. That's just not. So most likely it's probably what's going to happen, based on the track record. And I shouldn't complain because I'm normally not a huge complainer about like what they give us, whatever they give us, I appreciate. Okay. And I'm sure that whatever they don't give us now, they'll give us later. That's my take on it. That's my philosophy, because there's a treasure trove there. So they're giving us some unseen footage. They're giving us some unreleased tracks. So, and not like a small amount here. Ringo says one time, I think it was earlier this year, he was talking about the Threedles footage. He said, yeah, they only showed like about, like 50 minutes of it in total. When there's maybe, I think he said like 5 or 6 hours in total, maybe more. I think that 5 or 6 hours might be, maybe he's misremembering or something. That doesn't seem like a lot. But again, if there's only 5 or 6 hours, I want to see all 5 or 6 hours of that. Anything they have, I want to see it. So maybe we're just going to get a little bit now and maybe a lot later on. Maybe they're working on it. So I have hopes, because we just got that footage of George at Abbey Road when he was being interviewed by Mo Foster. And that was a revelation. So this is what I'm expecting with the new Threedles footage, something more authentic Beatles, them just kind of hanging together and enjoying each other's company, just being themselves, working. I want to see that. Just like how I enjoyed Get Back. Yeah, they were grumpy and but they were authentic. I love the authenticity. And I have listened to Freeze a Bird, the new remix of Freeze a Bird, and John just sounds a lot more clear. John is a lot more upfront, and like George says, John's voice. I mean, that's something to be cherished. And I'm on board. I cherish John Lennon's voice. It's a beautiful thing. And in Freeze a Bird, the original mix, it was a little bit tinny. It was kind of, buried in the mix. I mean, John was a little bit of a Wilbury, there with in Freeze a Bird back then, unfortunately. They did a beautiful job. It's a fabulous song, and I love it, and I always will. But with this one, John is more upfront. And everything just seems a little bit more clear, maybe even a little bit bare. The whole thing sounds a little bit more bare, which I kind of like. And you can hear when Paul harmonizes with John, and it just sounds a lot more natural, a little bit more real and clear and authentic to me. Anyway, to my ears, just listening to it a few times. And authentic Beatles is something I can wrap my head around. So I can dig it, and I love it. And I did also listen to the remaster of George's acoustic version, take one of While My Guitar Gently Weeps. I've heard it before, okay, the take one, but again, this is really good. I mean, just so upfront. George is like he's in the room. George can break your heart with his voice and a guitar, and that take one, it's perfect. They didn't need to do anything else with Gently Weeps. And I understand there's going to be some kind of a making of Gently Weeps. And I think, again, in my opinion, that's all we needed is that acoustic version. But George's vision was different. So I'd love to see this evolution mix, quote unquote, of what they're going to do with Gently Weeps. Looking forward to it. And I'd love to see a lot more of that. I guess No Whore Man as well. More Beatles, that's all I want. I think we all, I'm just like you guys. I love the Beatles. I want to see more. Whatever they give me, give it to us now. I don't have everything. I'm not like one of those fans who buys everything. I mean, I can't afford it. But maybe this one I might just purchase, most likely, because it sounds amazing right now. And I think it is an amazing time to be a Beatles fan. And again, I appreciate you all for being here with me, for being a crazy Beatles fan, all looking forward to whatever they give us. And until next time, peace and love one another. Take care. Hey, I want to see something authentic. I want to see something real going on here, with the Threedles. I want to see them interacting. I want to see them being authentic. I want to see them talking, whatever they want, even if they're just sitting there having tea. I'm good with that. Put that in there. Give us all the footage.